Are you wanting to book a field trip to the Herrett Center for Arts and Science but are not sure where to start? This video will help you book the perfect field trip with your students to the Herrett Center. The first thing that you will want to do is check out our Educator's Guide. Our Educator's Guide can be found on our website at herrett.csi.edu. Herrett is spelled Herrett. Once you are on our website, you will look to the right-hand side of the web page to see some teal bars. One of those teal bars will say Educator's Guide, and right underneath that bar, you will need to click Download the brochure in order to open the Educator's Guide. In the Educator's Guide, you will be able to find information on program fees, museum education programs, virtual education programs, scavenger hunts, story time, planetarium shows, observatory programs, and much more. Let's take a quick look at each one of these sections in order to help you book your field trip. One of the most important factors of every field trip is a budget. In our Educator's Guide, you can find program fees for all of the different activities offered to school groups. Many of our activities are charged per person. This includes both teachers and chaperones, though there are some programs with a flat rate fee. Small groups wanting to come to the Herrett Center will need to watch for possible minimum charges that may apply to their program of choice. Our museum education programs can be done with almost any size group, both big and small. The expected time frame for each museum education program is about 1 hour. On the page for museum education programs, you will be able to find the title of each program offered, the program's recommended grade range, and a brief description of each program. For those schools who are unable to travel for a field trip, the Herrett Center offers virtual education programs. These programs are presented through Zoom for classes with approximately 15 to 30 students. The virtual education programs page will show you the title of each program offered, the recommended grades, the expected time frame, and a brief description of each program. All virtual education programs are 30 minutes long, though some programs can be extended to be an hour-long program at an additional cost. Would you like your students to look through the galleries with a more focused eye? Scavenger hunts can provide a way for students to look through the museum galleries in a more controlled manner while also having fun. Scavenger hunts are designed to take no more than 30 minutes to complete and can be requested for 2 different age groups, pre-K through 2nd grade and 3rd grade and up. Scavenger hunts for students pre-K through 2nd grade are made for those students who have not started reading or are developing their reading skills and allow students to mark boxes to indicate items that have been found in the galleries. Students 3rd grade and up will need to read both clues on their scavenger hunts and labels in the exhibits to find correct answers to their scavenger hunt. Multiple themes are available for both age ranges, and the Herrett Center can accommodate up to 80 students at a time, though more students can participate in scavenger hunts with additional planning with your contact person. Storytime is an activity offered for small groups of pre-K and kindergarten students and takes no more than 30 to 45 minutes. Students will listen to and participate in a story that is read aloud by a staff member, see items in our collections that relate to the chosen story, and participate in a hands-on activity. Check out our Storytime page to find out what stories and activities are available for your pre-K or kindergarten students. By far, one of our most popular options for an activity at the Herrett Center is our Planetarium Shows. The Faulkner Planetarium offers over 30 planetarium shows for schools to choose from, and the theater can seat up to 144 people. Planetarium shows take approximately an hour and 15 minutes. This includes listening to the rules for the theater, seating your group, watching the chosen show, and a question and answer session at the end of the show with the planetarium presenter. Our planetarium shows are listed in the Educator's Guide in 3 different sections. The first section is the newest planetarium shows for the current school year, followed by our planetarium favorites, and finally our seasonal shows. The planetarium shows listed in each of the sections are organized alphabetically by title. Now let's look at what information can be found on the planetarium show pages. Each of the alphabetically listed planetarium shows have a bolded title with the recommended grade levels listed underneath each title. The show also has a brief description as well as a list of concepts that are covered in the show. Some shows have additional information provided in their listings, so be sure to be on the lookout for those that offer additional education guides upon request, or as in the case with Dinosaurs at Dusk, shows offered in Spanish for those educators with Spanish-speaking students. Many schools don't realize that observatory programs are available to do during daytime field trips. Our observatory program will include a 20 to 30-minute presentation that introduces the different types of telescopes and what can be viewed with them, as well as a tour of the Centennial Observatory and views through a variety of telescopes. Tour time is dependent on the group size, as space in the observatory is limited. If you are interested in having your students participate in an observatory program, your contact person will work with you to create a rotation schedule that will work for your group's size. If inclement weather occurs the day of your field trip, the tour will still include a demonstration of our 24-inch telescope and the dome's operation, just without actual viewing through the telescopes. Nighttime tours are also offered at an additional cost and on an individual basis to educational groups when the Centennial Observatory is not open to the public. Our education guide also offers additional information to assist you in booking a field trip, including information on scheduling and confirming your field trip, cancellations, available lunch areas, our gift shop, tips for a great visit, contact information for Herrett Center staff, and much more. Schools and education groups are welcome to book time for their students to participate in free, self-guided tours through the museum galleries, either in conjunction with other paid activities or as a solo activity for their group. Groups wanting to come to the Herrett Center for only a self-guided tour will still need to contact the Herrett Center to book an approved date and time for their students to enjoy the galleries, so that students will get the most out of their gallery time and so that there are no conflicting bookings. Are you ready to book a field trip to the Herrett Center? It is always best to book field trips in advance, and booking 1 month ahead of time is usually sufficient. April and May are the busiest times for field trips across the United States, however, so it may be best to book even earlier for the ideal field trip during those busy months. Once you are ready to book a field trip to the Herrett Center, your contact person will need the following information in order to book your field trip: your name, your school or group's name, contact information, your group's preferred date, plus a backup date or two, the grade or age of the students, the number of people attending the field trip, including teachers and chaperones, what activity or activities your group would like to do, and any other information that may be helpful in planning your group's field trip. Once your contact person has all of this information, they will create a confirmation sheet for your field trip. The confirmation sheets look like this and include all field trip details that were discussed with the contact person, the estimated cost for your group's visit, and the teacher and chaperone guidelines. Once you receive the confirmation sheet via email, it is important to check over all of the information on the confirmation sheet and respond to your contact person to confirm your group's field trip. It is also recommended that copies of the confirmation sheet are shared with other teachers attending, as well as any chaperones helping during the field trip. It's field trip day. Once the day of your field trip has come, please keep the following in mind. Please arrive on time. If it looks like your group may arrive late, please contact the Herrett Center front desk or your contact person to let us know. Groups that arrive late may not be able to participate in certain programs or may get a shortened version of their requested program. Upon arrival, please check in at the front desk. Front desk staff will confirm your group numbers and ring up payment at the register. Once you have checked in with the front desk staff and payment has been taken care of, please follow the directions of the Herrett Center staff. They will instruct you on what your group will need to do and where your group will need to go. Please make sure that the guidelines outlined in the confirmation sheet are followed by those in your group throughout your group's visit. And last but not least, have fun and enjoy your field trip to the Herrett Center for Arts and Science with your students. The Herrett Center for Arts and Science and its staff thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and we hope to see you and your students at the Herrett Center soon.